Hello. We have a dispute with the council and a tire shop here which organizes criminal activity. I need your help. I am a neighbor and we are endangered by their aggravated pollution. We are the most polluted spot in the country here without them. So you have to talk. We have to talk. They are still open. This is a huge problem and it's going to be solved, however, today, because of...
Just quickly, what's the immediate risk now? Because this sounds to me like it's obviously a dispute with the council.
No, not only. No, that's why I say it's going to be solved. I'm going to tell you what's the main crime here is that the local garages from where cars, broken down cars, are brought here systematically and criminally organized through the AA. And I'm afraid sometimes from the police because they need to clear the roads, they say. But today is the AA. So you have to be very much at ease. The AA has contacted the recovery company. That's for sure, because Mark is the manager and I spoke to him. They are still open, by the way. Now, it doesn't matter. Look what happened. They deprived the local garages from allocating the repairs. You see, that is a huge crime.
Sorry, just quickly, interrupt you, okay? So you have to understand policing works. We respond to immediate instances. Are you saying that there's a criminal offence taking place now?
Organized, yes.
Right, what is that offence that you're saying is taking place now?
Now they are repairing. All these cars that they come to order are 45,000 upwards.
Right. So are you saying now?
They are here.
You say now that there is a stolen car or illegal car that is being worked upon?
She's been worked upon in the closed shutters in the tire shop. Outside they are still open. They should be closed at 12 o'clock.
How do you know there's offence? How do you know an offence now is taking place?
An offence has been taking place since the lorry came here. And they left.
Today, I've got to explain to you where we respond to units, okay? So if you call 999,
yes.
Okay, there's an immediate threat of violence, okay, or a crime taking place at that point in time. Please attend at that point in time. I'm trying to ascertain from you, I'm trying to work out from you whether or not this is an ongoing dispute that requires,
very much.
Right. So it requires like a long-term solution.
15 years long.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you are repairing and serving some of your unmarked vans and your unmarked vehicles, and that has made
so how do
things
you know?
complex.
So the question that I've got for you is, okay, what criminal offence are you saying is taking place now at this point in time? What criminal offence?
They are repairing the car behind the shutters, a luxury Range Rover,
Right, so what
50,000 pounds, all of them.
Right, so what's the offence that you're telling me is taking place?
They don't have planning permission
Right, okay.
for mechanical repairs.
Right, okay, so that is not something that we would respond to now. That's a dispute.
You have to do something because our life has been exposed to them.
But that's a dispute with the local council. So
No, they are absolutely ridden
Right,
with corruption,
right, okay.
endemic
but
corruption.
let me I understand your frustration, okay? But-
What was it? It's anger.
Can I just summarise what you're telling me, okay? They are operating a business without the appropriate licences.
Very much
Right,
so,
okay,
but it is organized criminal activity.
okay,
They deprive the local garages from their jobs.
Okay, but that is not something. That is not something that we as a response unit would attend to. That is something that requires a long-term, a slow-time investigation.
I refuse to. I deny that you have the right to say that. People are deprived from doing their allocated jobs.
Okay.
And that is a criminal activity.
Okay.
From the AA,
Okay.
you see, nothing less.
Right.
So the manager said to me, I can't help it. I don't have an answer to you.
Right.
I said to him, I'm going to publicize it.
So I'm confused. I asked you what's taking place.
Yes.
Okay. And the crime that you believe is taking place now is one second. I've got to sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
So basically, what my colleague is saying, it looks like you obviously have a dispute that involves local
Huge.
council, okay?
Absolutely.
And their decision making about who they allow to trade. Is that correct?
There is a lot behind it. It's extortion. Now, extortion is taking place. Extortion means that
Can you describe
they-
what you mean by extortion?
yes,
From
the
who?
driver, you see,
The driver
he said the driver
is
is
doing what?
he's been blackmailed in a roundabout way to have his car repaired and pay through the nose. To have immediately they are repairing the car, and to have out of hours. We're talking now out of hours, and he's going to have the car. He's going to pay, and he might smile to them because he's rich. You see, it's extortion
But
as
don't
well.
you
Apart
think
from
if he's
to the
decided-
driver, rich drivers.
Don't you think if he's deciding to take his car to the garage, okay, it is his free choice to do so?
Well, it's because he's forced to. He's desperate.
By what? He's forced by what?
People who are broken down in motorways,
Yes.
even poor people.
Okay.
Even myself, I will say, oh my God, what can it cost me to repair my car as soon as possible?
Okay.
So they pay through the nose, the rich people with these cars. And that is the key of the whole organized crime. That we are at the most convenient spot, the most polluted spot here. 4 roads, 1, 2, 3, and the motorway.
Personally, I would find it quite reasonable that when the car breaks down, the driver, the owner, wants to take it to the nearest garage to get it repaired so they can continue with their journey.
It's not the nearest.
Okay.
It's the most convenient.
However,
This is the point that is not the nearest. The nearest is the privacy. It's let down the nearest.
However, what I think, if you have a problem with the permission that was given by the council to the garage to run the business, you should be taking it up with them.
Yeah,
not with
yes,
us,
but that is
because this is not immediate.
that is besides the point now.
There is no risk to
We are
life or health.
we are talking about the organized AA, and even the police might have from the AA.
Okay, so
They do that.
Let me rephrase.
They do
so
that.
you're saying that's a bigger thing that involves
The back.
a well-known company, AA.
No, they are drivers.
Okay.
They are backhunters.
Even-
We are talking drivers. He phoned the the manager of this company, towing company, and he says, I don't want to know, he says.
And how do you know that?
She said to me that. You see, that's why I've got the proof. That's from the beginning. I've nailed them. Not only that, I've got a score of similar incidents here.
Tell you what. I think it looks like it's a matter that you need to be taking up with the local council
No, well,
and express that in an official complaint.
Yes, but not with all these details that I mentioned to you that he said to me. Because the AEA, as a matter of fact, they left when I mentioned to them that they left, and I've got another video of them leaving with the luxury car, and I knew that they are going to come back, and they did come back. It's amazing.
As my colleague explained to you, it's not something that Where's Response Unit. If you believe there's an illegal operation going on and they don't have the licenses, then you report that matter to the council. Have you reported to the council?
Yeah, yes,
right.
yes. They ignore us.
Right.
They didn't even phone me.
Right.
They didn't even phone me. Can you imagine?
Excuse me, sir, not let me speak.
Can you imagine?
Sir, you reported that it's an illegal operation, that you believe they don't have a commercial license to operate. Is that correct?
Is not enough. That is not the point. Only the point here. We are talking about the background.
Okay.
The background
Right.
is organized from bigger brains, the brains behind.
But that's something that you need to report to the council, and the council investigates.
I insist. The local people are let down.
Okay, but what would you want us to do now?
First of all, to have a word with them. They should have closed at 2 o'clock.
That's the council's responsibility.
Well, the council doesn't talk with them.
That's not police responsibility.
It is.
Okay, so you want us to speak to them now because they're operating when they should have closed at 2.
To stop operating Saturday because they operate.
That's not a police matter, sir.
But they all right. Okay, you can say that. You can say that. But you have the background now.
No.
Of the crime.
It sounds to me as though you've got a dispute with this garage, okay? You believe that
there are two.
Okay. You
two
believe
garages.
that they're operating without a commercial license or operating beyond what a license requires them to do. That's not a police
No,
matter.
it's total chaos,
Right.
total lawlessness, wantonness, anarchy.
Right.
Absolutely ignoring the neighbors.
But it goes back. It was what could my colleague?
It's an open air garage in the middle of our community here.
Right.
Open air. Can you imagine? And they have been allowed from aided and abetted fraud 15 years ago. But that is okay. You can dismiss that. What I need at the moment is to investigate the details behind it. The manager said to me, I cannot do any...
Let me explain how policing works then, okay? So if you believe there's an illegal operation taking place, that would require a slow time investigation of working out what cars are entering, the registration numbers,
got
the details.
all of them.
But so that's not what we would do as a response unit. We would intervene, okay, if there's an immediate threat to life or danger, okay, and someone needs immediate police assistance. You're talking to us about a slow time, protracted investigation that requires, investigation of details to be obtained about where cars have come from, who owns the cars, what's the basis behind it. And again, it's not something we would do.
It's specific. That's the difference. It is just unique case in order to share the loot. Many people are sharing the pie, the cake.
Okay, but you're listening to me, because that's not something that as response officers we would get involved with. It's something you need to report to the local council.
Absolutely total shambles.
I've got a question. Why, if you report this to the local council and they haven't done anything, why do you think that's the case? Could it be because they're operating legally?
It's because today I gave you the details. You gave me the chance to give you the details. At least once a week, I have the chance to stop vehicles like you. And the moment I say that the council is ridden with corruption, we cannot help it. They go. They leave. And that's why I have the camera, because I wanted your registration number.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I've no issue with this filming this. But what I'm saying to you is, and I'll explain again, the problem that you've described to me sounds like it's an environmental issue, okay?
No, not at all.
Right.
No, it's not environmental issue.
You said to me that you didn't believe they had a commercial license to operate, and they are, or if they do have one, they're operating it outside of those license conditions, i.e., they're open now when they should be closed at 2. That is an environmental issue, a council issue.
That is a council issue.
That's not something we will deal with now.
But I mentioned to you about the specific and systematic sending of cars, broken down cars, from huge distances out of hours in order to minimize the time. Important that. And they let, the main thing here is they let out, I would be mad if I were a garagist here from the areas, because that's the convenience of this spot here. They bring the lorries from far away.
Would it be fair to say that you don't have the full insight as to what is happening, how the business is operating, how the people are making their choices, free choices?
I've got 100% insight of the whole skullduggery that is taking place. And of course, it is daylight.
How would you have that insight, knowing what the owner of the car decides, how he makes that decision, based on what his preference and choice is?
Because they are daring to open up at 6:30, 6:25 every morning, and they close only the shutters at 7:30, and they have African staff to work for them and repair the cars up to midnight and accommodate the new arrivals.
Would you say it is reasonable for the garage to operate on extensive hours since the cars break down 24/7?
Well, this is my point here, that you are allowing illegality to take place. Not only that, now it's a pollution. Here you see, we are polluted 24.
Okay, obviously we were tasked to. We're on a task to actually do something. Okay, so we haven't got an extensive amount of time to speak to you. But what I can say to you is, you haven't given me any suspicion, okay, or evidence that we need to attend this location because at this moment in time there is a significant crime taking place. Okay? It appears to me your dispute.
Okay.
Let me just finish, sir. It appears to me that your dispute is related over 2 matters.
Yes.
One is. So let me finish, sir.
I was expecting that.
One is. Let me finish, sir.
Specific. Invariably, in all of these cases, the cars, the lorries come from A3, A4, M3, M4, A40, M40, North Circular,
Right. So, on what you're telling me, okay, I don't.
That they come from far away, because it's convenient here.
What you're telling me now is, okay, I don't have reasonable grounds or suspicion to believe that any offence at this point in time.
There is a huge offence here. The main offence is that they rob the local garages.
Right, okay.
These crooks, the AA crooks.
Right, okay, so my advice
and they share the cake.
Right, so my advice to you is, we cannot do anything now. Okay? You must raise, if you believe that their organisation is operating outside of its environmental licences, then you must report that to the council. Okay. If you believe, and I don't.
I have. They don't even contact me.
Right. Well, if you've raised it and they haven't contacted you, then that would possibly imply that so the business is operating legitimately.
Well, the police doesn't reply me either.
So my suggestion to you is, do you have a contact in the council?
Oh, well, contact only by phone. When I go there, no one comes down.
I would suggest that you approach this contact in the council who you've been to and ask them for an update on your complaint.
No, only by email or by phone. They don't answer. Mind you, I have to tell you something very serious now. The whole country's safety of the road responsible are going down because of my exposing them of covering up EALING Council's criminality. DVSA, nothing less. We are talking about huge agency.
Okay, so unfortunately
They are involved.
Unfortunately, we can't help you because I don't believe that there's any immediate requirement for.
Well, I have been communicating. It's a huge ring of corruption.
Right, so
we are talking.
What I suggest is you go back to the council, you get an update on this incident. Okay?
If I send that to a newspaper, they wouldn't like it. Can you imagine saying DVSA and you are not blinking an eye?
What I'm saying to you, sir, is that you haven't given me any information to believe that any crime is taking place. You're giving me
the crime now, the immediate also,
right,
is that the parameters have changed with the coronavirus. So
okay, I'll ask you the question again. What crime is taking place at this point in time now? No, be specific. What crime is taking point now at this point in time?
That the local garages are left with empty pockets. That's a local crime.
So this
robbed from having a job.
Let me explain to you, okay? Right, under the UK law, the fact that one company is taking business from its competitors
Systematically.
is not a crime.
That's why I say it is unique, one way.
Okay. Well, I've just explained to you. I've asked you what do you believe requires immediate police response now? You've described to me what you believe is happening, and I'm telling you that is not an offence.
I forgot something to tell you.
So you believe there's another crime taking place?
Of course.
Right,
AA, crooked.
No, what's the crime taking place now at this point in time?
The AA is because I have uncovered their criminality on this point. The same thing happened. They are phoning now someone else to come and pick it up and prove himself innocent. You see, you cannot do anything against the manager because he said to me, I was found by the AA, so I've got the proof here.
Right, so I've explained to you twice now. I don't believe there is any illegal criminality that requires an immediate police response at this point in time. I understand that there is a frustration about this business operating in a residential area. You've raised the complaint previously and numerous times with the council. You haven't had a response back. So what I suggest to you...
And DVSA as well.
So what I suggest to you is, since you have raised complaints to DVSA and the local council, that you contact them again to find out and get an update on what your complaint is. That is the way forward, okay? Right.
Well...
you understand? That's the way forward.
I'm asking you one thing. Why the AA doesn't act themselves now? Because they are afraid of me.
I cannot answer the AA.
I'm giving you a proof of the crimes.
So I've answered your questions, so that's my advice, okay?
Do you see my point? Why they don't do it themselves?
I think we've exhausted the subject. Have a great day, yeah?
All right. You wouldn't go to have a look, by the way, to have a small look at them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. LJ19 DUA. Look, the monsters that we have opposite our house. Multi-headed monsters. Saturday, the 1st of August 2020, 54 past 5.